In a small Middle Eastern nation not so very long ago, they say there were always two things you could count on: shawarma as a staple food and an epic telenovela involving international diplomats. The latest episode? A thrilling peace summit between Israel and Lebanon, starring Benjamin Netanyahu, Joe Biden, and a cast of, well, diplomatic characters. Our episode begins with Prime Minister Netanyahu flipping through a stack of letters. He stops when he sees a particularly tattered one, marked with an American eagle seal, and grins. What could it be but a thank you note from none other than President Biden, with sparkles of goodwill and political cliches? There it is. A note from our dear friend Joe. Netanyahu exclaims, showing it to his cat Mildred, who only cared for tufts and strings. It's become increasingly clear Mildred is the only logical advisor in his immediate vicinity, swishing her tail like a metronome. Netanyahu has good reason to be in high spirits. There's now a ceasefire with Lebanon, courtesy of Washington's, or as the Prime Minister appreciated in a diplomatic jest, Washington's, effort. He reminisces about the quick conference call with Biden, the buffering video chat on a secure line, likely not secure enough to keep the inevitable technical gremlins at bay. Joe, it's been a while since our last international squabble resolved with one of these connective get-togethers, he had said as their voices danced over digital hiccups. Now, no longer are there the intense exchanges of, "What did you say about my security fence?" or "Why are there so many people on the red line?" both equally demanding routes of diplomacy. Instead, we found our gentleman tossing polite compliments like it was ping-pong in peace talks. The real crux? Washington forged an exquisite roll, a blend of garlic and subtlety on the brisket of geopolitical negotiation. Perhaps not entirely due to Biden's homegrown charm, but maybe Trump's leftovers helped set the stage for this theatrical diplomacy. Finally, our closing scene dissolves with Netanyahu signing a framed printout of the tattered thank you email and nodding contentedly, a traditional political nod filled with promises and the delight of one less dish to wash at the international table. As he walks to the door for his next meeting, he nods to Mildred with a wink. "This calls for extra catnip tonight." And so ends another chapter of Middle Eastern diplomacy, sure to intrigue as much as it bemuses, in the ongoing sitcom that is international relations.